She was the deadliest huntress on her planet, until he refused to die. They called her the Wraith of Varkana. Across the jungles of her crimson world, her name meant fear. She hunted everything that bled, beasts, rebels, deserters, invaders. Her armor shimmered like liquid shadow. Her rifle spoke only once per kill, and her face was never seen. No prey ever escaped her, until the human came. The first time she saw him, he was already bleeding. He had crash-landed in the dense northern valley, where the air shimmered with spores and the ground pulsed with bioluminescent moss. His ship was a wreck of flame and twisted metal, half swallowed by the vines. Through her scope, she watched him drag himself in the wreckage. Tall, unarmored, human, primitive species. No exosuit, no shielding, just a cracked helmet and a rifle that looked older than her civilization. He shouldn't have survived the crash. He shouldn't have even been breathing the air. And yet he moved, coughing, limping, living. Target confirmed. Her commander's voice rasped through the comms. Eliminate and retrieve the transponder. Do not let the Terran escape. As ordered, she replied, her voice cold. She lined up her shot. The crosshairs rested on his heart. She exhaled. The rifle fired. A beam of compressed plasma that could melt stone. The human fell. Smoke rose. Kill confirmed. Or so she thought. Hours later, while scanning the valley, her sensors pinged again. A life form, same signature, same pulse. Impossible. She tracked the signal through the ruins of the crash site. Her boots left no sound as she moved, weaving through alien trees that bent toward her like watching serpents. Then she saw him again. The human was standing. Barely. His arm was burned, his side bleeding, but his eyes, they were alive. Fierce. He had dragged himself out of the ash, used torn fabric to bind his wounds, and was now scavenging from the shipwreck. She aimed again. This time she fired at his head. He moved. Not fast, but just enough. The beam scorched the metal beside him. He dropped behind the wreckage, returning fire with something crude, a ballistic rifle, ancient and slow. The bullets pinged harmlessly against her armor. She almost laughed, but then a bullet struck her shoulder, right where her armor plate was cracked from a previous mission. The round pierced through. She staggered back, hissing in pain. The human had seen it. He was aiming for weakness. Primitive or not, he was learning. For 3 days, they hunted each other through the valley. She would stalk him from the treetops. He would vanish into fog. She'd set traps. He'd dismantle them and turn them against her. Every time she thought she had cornered him, he'd find some impossible way to survive. Digging into caves, drinking poison rain, even using alien insects for camouflage. He refused to die. On the 4th night, the storm hit. Radiation lightning split the sky. The air burned with static. Her sensors overloaded. Her optics failed. That's when he struck. He came out of the storm, rifle blazing, face streaked with blood and rain. She parried his attack, countered with a blade strike. He caught her wrist mid-swing. His strength shocked her. His grip felt like iron. They crashed into the mud, grappling, blades flashing, sparks flying from armor and bone. "Why are you here, human?" she snarled, pushing him back. "You should have died days ago." He spat blood and smiled through broken teeth. "Guess we don't die easy." She slashed his chest, but he didn't fall. He kept coming. No one had ever lasted this long against her. No one had ever looked at her like that, not with fear, but with defiance. When lightning flashed again, she saw herself reflected in his eyes. Not a hunter, not a killer, just another creature trying to survive. When she woke, it was quiet. She was lying in a shallow cave, her wounds bandaged with scraps of human cloth. Her armor was off, her rifle gone. The human sat nearby, skin pale, breathing ragged. He had patched her up. Her, the one who had tried to kill him. "Why?" she croaked. He looked at her without anger. "Because you'd have done the same." She didn't answer. She wasn't sure she would have. Days passed. The storm cut them off from extraction. They shared what little they had: filtered water, dry protein, warmth. She watched him struggle to repair his comm device with bare hands and human ingenuity, fusing wires together with shard of metal heated over a flame. No neural link, no nanotech, just stubbornness. She found herself watching him more than she should, the way he refused to quit, the way he'd limp out every morning to search for food, even when the ground poisoned everything it touched. She was born into strength. He was born into fragility, yet somehow he was stronger. She had been trained to end lives. He fought to preserve them. On the seventh day, a rescue beacon finally pierced through the storm. Her people were coming. She turned to him. "You need to leave. If they find you, they'll finish what I started." He just smiled, weak but steady. "I didn't crawl through hell to run now." "You don't understand," she said. "They don't take prisoners." He looked up at the bleeding sky. "Then they'll have to kill me again." She felt something twist inside her, something she hadn't felt since her first hunt. Guilt, admiration, fear. When the dropships appeared on the horizon, their engines roaring, she made her choice. The soldiers found two figures near the signal flare. One, the Wraith of Varkana, wounded but alive. The other, the human, unconscious beside her. "Target neutralized?" her commander asked. She met his gaze through her cracked visor. "Negative," she said. "No human survived the crash." She handed over a data chip. A false report, sensor logs wiped. The commander frowned, then nodded, understood, returned to base. As they lifted off, she looked down to the viewport, to where, far below, the human lay hidden beneath the roots of an ancient tree, breathing still. Months later, the stories began to spread of a human mercenary in the outer colonies, a survivor who had once faced the Wraith of Varkana and lived, and of a huntress who vanished from her orders soon after, her armor found abandoned, her rifle silent. Some say they met again, on another world, under another storm. Others say she still hunts, but never kills humans anymore. And somewhere in the dark between stars, the Wraith's old motto is whispered by those who fight impossible odds: "We don't die easy.